Am I the a-hole for not wanting to take my wife's niece and nephew in so they can get out of foster care? This is a throwaway account. I have been sitting on this for a few days, but it is still eating at me. My wife wants to take her niece and nephew in, as they have been in foster care for over a year now. My knowledge is limited, but this is what I know about the situation. Back in October of last year, my sister-in-law, Sil, her husband, and her husband's mother were living in a one-bedroom camper with 6 dogs and 2 children. It appears someone reported them to Child Protective Services, CPS, or the Department of Child Services, DCS. They made a home visit, and the conditions were reportedly squalid. From what I understand, the children were only supposed to be taken away temporarily until proper living arrangements were found and the dogs were rehomed. My wife asked if we could help, so we agreed to cover the apartment deposit and 5 months of rent. This is where things went downhill. The children were tested for THC, and they had elevated levels. The son is currently 5 years old, and the daughter is 13. I do not know the exact levels. My Sil and her husband swear they only smoke outside and claim the levels were too high to be caused by secondhand smoke. They say the children must have been given gummies or something similar. To be fair, I could see them doing that. That is not even the biggest concern. My Sil's husband failed to register as a sex offender. He has one count stemming from having sex with a 15-year-old when he was 19 or 20. Apparently, she lied about her age, but in Washington state, a minor lying about their age is not a valid defense. This caused additional legal issues. He was charged, and apparently his father posted bail for him. Earlier this month, the attorney representing them in the CPS case asked whether we would be willing to take the children in. The husband's father said no, and my parents-in-law also said absolutely not. That leaves us. My wife wants to do it, but I am on the fence. We do not have to make a decision immediately. Our last hearing was last week, which is when the option of us taking the children in was formally presented. The judge requested that CPS reach out to our local child services agency in New York, since we live in New York. It is not a guaranteed outcome. We would need to be approved as suitable caregivers, find our own attorney, and go through the necessary evaluations. The next court appearance is in February, at which point the judge says they will determine next steps, including things like a parental plan. I am very torn. I do not want to take these children in. I understand they have no one else, but I like our life the way it is. We were both always happy with not having children. Another fear I have is that my wife will want her sister involved in the children's lives, which likely means we would end up supporting my Sil in some way, at least financially or emotionally. I know how much this means to my wife, but I am struggling. She tells me it is normal to feel this way, but that this is the right thing to do. I am honestly lost. I do not know enough about the criminal side of things, such as the failure to register or whether the THC exposure could result in additional charges, so I cannot comment on that. I am just looking for honest and even brutal feedback. I have no one else I can talk to about this. My wife's mind is made up, but my understanding is that we both need to agree. Minor update, I briefly spoke with an attorney around 10 o'clock. We scheduled a full consultation for January 5th. Based on the information provided, he echoed what many others have said. This situation sounds more like guardianship or adoption rather than temporary placement. He is also confused as to why my Sil has not had visitation with the children. As others have mentioned, he believes something else may be going on. It was a very brief conversation, and we were both present. Thank you for all the advice and suggestions. I am compiling everything and writing down my questions and concerns, and I have asked my wife to do the same. Final update, my wife and I spoke to our attorney and attended our first hearing. As many people mentioned, we were missing a lot of details. The judge is completely fed up with both my brother-in-law, Bil, and Sil. That is a topic for another day. As for the children, the oldest has a history of running away, stealing, and lying. She has accused foster parents of inappropriate behavior, but it appears those claims were dismissed due to a lack of forensic evidence. I am not entirely sure what that entails. She is not doing well in school and has been caught smoking and drinking. In short, she is a mess. She wants to be with her parents, which is understandable. The younger brother seems to have adjusted better than his sister. Overall, we were presented with the option of fostering or pursuing guardianship. According to our attorney, guardianship is the faster option but generally much harder to exit later. Another point of contention is our marital status. If we divorce before officially taking the children in, it could delay the process. Personally, I am leaning towards separating beforehand so my wife can do what she feels she needs to do. We were also told that, due to their ages, the children cannot share a bedroom, which is particularly challenging in New York City. It will be difficult for my wife to afford housing on her income alone, though we were told income should not be a limiting factor as long as she can provide adequate care. Unfortunately, our marriage is likely over. I will do what I can as a friend, but children are not in the cards for me. My wife is understandably upset and feels that I am punishing her for her sister's actions. I tried my best to explain that I love her, but this is not what I signed up for. I told her that maybe I could have handled it if it were just the younger child, but his sister comes with a level of trauma and chaos that I am not equipped to handle. I appreciate all the feedback, differing perspectives, and suggestions. I am not happy with the outcome, but this is life. I thought long and hard about it, and I cannot see myself growing to love or appreciate these children if they cause major shifts in our life and freedoms, which objectively they will. If you have more suggestions or advice, please leave them. I will pass them along to my soon-to-be ex at this rate.